Welcome to Mainly Motorsports, and boy, it seems like, I don't know, I don't even know how to react when the response we've gotten over the last week and a half concerning the 500th episode. And, a lot of people just kind of, when we'd say it, they would kind of, oh yeah, that's pretty neat. And then they'd stop and think about it. And thank you to everybody for the text messages, the emails, the phone calls, the Facebook messages. It means a lot. And, like I always say, we're just this little TV show based out of Southern Maine that covers motorsports, and we try to bring as much as possible to you, the viewer, and really appreciate everybody that follows along with us on a weekly basis. And, I know every show is different, and, some don't have the content that, others do, but looking back, we've had a great run, and we've just enjoyed ourselves, enjoyed the people we've met, at the racetracks, the off-season shows, just out in public and all of that. And, I can't thank everybody enough. The people at Time Warner that, had faith in me 410 or 11 episodes ago, that wanted me to be a part of this and not see it go away when John Crawford decided he was going to go a different direction and help Doug White manage Wiscasset Raceway. And, and I took it, had no idea what I was going to be doing. And some days I still think I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but really appreciate, everybody that, from Time Warner, and, the good old days to the days that now I deal with, and it's a little bit different. And, Dave Stewart deserves all the credit in the world, because had he not come on board and taken up the editing duties of Mainly Motorsports and allowed us to do all our own stuff and send it off to Time Warner, I don't know if I'd have been able to keep it going with the cost, as well as the timing factor, and traveling back and forth, and delivering stuff to Time Warner cable and all that. So really, he is owed the biggest debt of gratitude, because without him, I really don't think that we would be able to bring you what we bring you on a weekly basis. Other people that have stepped up over the years, my list of co-hosts, from guys that helped out 2 or 3 times to, Amanda that was there over a year, Marco that got me going, Greg Emerson, Dan Walker, who's fills in, Travis Barrett, Dave Gutter. I mean, I'm just thinking over and over, and really, really appreciate all the effort that they've all put in, whether it was, like I said, just a little small piece on, took a month out of their life, or, that continued on for a little over a year. And the people like that have really been supportive of us, really appreciate it. And, the sponsors, without the sponsors, and we nowhere have the sponsor level that John had back in the early days. And, obviously things have changed, needs have changed, but the ones that have stuck by us, and, I think of a couple of the scrolls, Pat Mann's Redemption Center, K&G Auto Sales, they come to mind. They have been with me since the beginning, over 400 episodes, spending money, advertising with us. Whether they get their return, I don't know. Do we ever know when it comes to advertising? But they believe in what we do, and in turn we believe in them, and we encourage all our viewers, motorsports enthusiasts. We encourage you to support the people that support Mainly Motorsports. And, if it wasn't for them, there'd be no show. This is how we put our show on, is through the advertising dollars. And appreciate all the ones that are involved in the sport, that have stuck with us through, lean times for not only us, but their business, short track racing. And as we try to all, as a collective group, bring this sport back to, maybe you'll never see the heights that you saw of the 70s and 80s, but, we can bring it back. And we got a lot of great short track promoters, tour operators, racers up here in the Northeast. And if we all work together, we can really make a name for ourselves. But I couldn't do any of it without the support and of all the sponsors. And from the Scroll sponsor, if you want to be a introduction to motorsports at such a small level, but be a part of Mainly Motorsports, that's the way to go. If you want to be on the TV screen as the logos in the background, that's the way to go for your company. You just contact us, and you'll find that we have probably the most affordable rates you'll ever get to put your name, likeness, business on television. We all know, with the Super Bowl coming up, we're going to hear those astronomical numbers of what they charge for commercials and things like that. And, you'd be shocked to say, wow, I can have my business on TV and a commercial or whatever for those rates. And if you pay attention to the commercials that we air, those are all local small businesses. You don't see corporate America. Those are all locally owned, Maine-based businesses. And, they see value and get the value out of advertising with Mainely Motorsports. So once again, appreciate and thank you to all our sponsors, all our scroll sponsors. I mean, I know it's hard sometimes to read them going across the bottom, but you see them new ones all the time. And, we really appreciate that. Go to our sponsor page on our MainelyMotorsportsTV.com website, and you'll see all the info. Be able to click onto their websites, be able to get their phone numbers. And, we have it all covered. And if you want your car worked on, you want to buy a car, you need logging, you need anything, ATVs, you name it, they got it. And appreciate a few of the racetracks coming on board and seeing value of putting their racetrack, because we do it. We're going to talk about your racetrack. You don't have to spend a dime with us. We're going to talk about your racetrack, but we got a few of them that really see the value and want to support us beyond the support they already give us. So I really appreciate that, and I want to thank each and every one of them. And like I said, as we get ready to get into episode 501, as we still covering some things from the 29th Annual Northeast Motorsports Expo, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has played a part in the first 500, now 501 episodes. And thank you to everybody that's continuing to play a part as we go for that, I don't know, 1,000. It seems like it's out of reach. Does it seem like it? I don't know. But we're going to keep plugging away and keep bringing you short track racing, whether it's from the go-karts or the dirt tracks of, throughout Maine, or the asphalt, or, just everything. We're just going to bring you short track racing highlights, off-season shows, highlights from your weekly short track races, tracks throughout New England. And then what we do, studio guests, just a bunch of fun things. And like I said, we're going to have a big party this spring. Bentley's is opening up their doors one night earlier than their 2017 kickoff to allow us to have our kickoff 2017 / Mainly Motorsports 500 plus episode party. And that's pretty neat when somebody is noted in the sport as Bentley Warren, noted in the small business community as Bentley Saloon, and they see the value of being involved with Mainly Motorsports and allowing us to come in a night early, kind of having, I don't want to call it invitation only, but I kind of do call it invitation only. They're not open to the general public. You need to be a part of us and supporter of us, or just a fan of us, or just to be able to come in and attend. And we'll have some great prizes, some great personalities, some races from all over New England that'll be there, tracks represented, just a great night for short track racing as we celebrate the kickoff to 2017 / 500 plus episodes of Mainly Motorsports. So once again, thank you to everybody, and really appreciate all the effort, support, the people behind the scenes that allow me to do what I do and bring you me, Not that that's a win, but you get me. So we're going to take a break. We come back. We got some other stuff we want to touch on from the Northeast Motorsports Expo, and anybody that was up there saw how much fun was had by all parties in the Pit Crew Challenge. But anybody that didn't be able to attend the show, we're going to show you some highlights and give us a little airtime to some of the regular folks, people that aren't part of race teams, that aren't part of an organization, but they just decided that for one split second, or actually no split seconds, minutes on end, they wanted to be a part of a tire changing competition and have a lot of fun. And really appreciate hell of a good, and what they did to be a part of that, because Scott Blake has, stepped on board with us 4 or 5 years ago, and with hell of a good and wanting to be a part of the Northeast Motorsports Expo. And by doing that, it allows us to give away the prizes and play the game that, a little bit different than, sitting in the stands and watching. It puts you, the regular Joe, at the chance to win some money, some prizes, and really appreciate all the efforts he's done and stepping up and making this possible. So once again, I'm going to take a break. We come back and we're going to have some pit stop challenge fun competitions.
When I started Scotch Recreation, some competitors warned that if I discounted RVs and trailers, I wouldn't last. Well, here we are over 10 years later, still discounting and still growing. That's why we're Maine's largest RV dealer and largest trailer dealer. Forget about MSRP. We start way below that. Get your best price up front. Come see why my dealership sells more RVs and trailers than any other dealer in Maine.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf.
And I'm Dan Wolf. We've been selling and servicing vehicles on Route 25 in Gorham since 1972.
Wolf Auto Service offers state inspections, tires, brakes, and suspension.
21st Century Motors has a great selection of cars and trucks starting at $29.99.
With no mortgage and low overhead, we sell and service at guaranteed lowest prices.
We're just 6 miles west of Turnpike Exit 47 on Route 25 in Gorham. Online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Join us for our 25th anniversary year. Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. And one of the first competitions, this was our first year doing it, was introducing the kids. And, you know, we want to put some kids challenges together. But obviously, when you're talking kids from 5 to 13, big size difference, big age discrepancy, level of ability. So what we did was we put teams out there. You had to have 2 adults, 3 kids. Kids had to operate the jack and the guns. Obviously, some kids aren't going to be able to jack the car, so you know the adults were able to help, just like they were in any other challenge. The adults were able to help, put the tires on, put the lug nuts on, do anything like that they could do, but the kids had to operate the gun. You know, they had to put the lug nuts on with the gun. I mean, the parents could, or the team adult member could help switch the guns over and over, because you remember these kids, and you know. Really happy about that and really appreciate it. And they had a ball. And I want to show you some highlights of each kids competition. And like I said, they just had a ball. And congratulations to the team of the Kids Challenge, the winner. They were all winners. I don't care. They were all winners. Getting to do that with those guns, and you saw the little 5-year-old, and they were all winners. But the Outlaws 2 team up out of the Wiscasset, Waterville area, congratulations to them, and I really appreciate Kevin and Rick from Superior Speed over in Buxton stepping up and being the sponsor of this division as they hoodies and the trophies and 99 restaurant involved. So really thank you to Kevin and that whole group to to be a part of this. And then the ladies, I don't know. I just think it's great when 5 ladies come together. They don't know the first thing about it, or maybe they do know the first, but they don't know the second, third, and fourth thing about it. To be able to try to change some tires, operate a gun, jack a car, and we just want it to be safe for everybody. But my highlight of my weekend was my kids participating in that. They have no clue. They don't, but they just want to participate. And I shouldn't say the only highlight. I had a lot of great memories, but just seeing Alicia and Andrea out there participating was just meant the world to me. And once again, we got a team out there that's got some ringers, and every year I tell everybody, you knock them off, I'll give even a bigger bonus. And maybe next year's the year, but you're starting to see some different people get more involved. And once women get competitive, hang on. So we just need that team to get ultra competitive and want to start practicing and knock off the reigning champs. So just enjoy these highlights from the ladies competition, and hats off to all the ladies for stepping outside their zone and doing it. And once again, Speedy's girls dominated the ladies pit crew challenge. So we'll see. One of these years, somebody's going to step up. Somebody's going to get 4 girls together and going to say, we're going to knock these girls off. And maybe 2018 is the year, but not for 2017. So congratulations to, I believe it's 3 or 4-time reigning champs, Speedy's girls, and Coach Dan McKeag, sponsored by Mainely Motorsports TV. Then we do the media challenge, and it's kind of special meaning because we play for trophies, no hoodies involved, bragging rights amongst us media members, but more importantly, $500 charitable donation put up by a sponsor, and this year's sponsor was Peter Prescott from Team EJP. So I really appreciate Peter and all he does for the Northeast Motorsports Expo and motorsports in general, with everything he's done over the years. So the media thing was quite fun, and like I said, that was pretty special to me because each year I kind of try to have fun with it. We change the rules. We involve women. We involve crew guys. We involve drivers. And I like to involve my family, and this year we went out and so funny because I needed a tire carrier, and I said, well, when you heard with me and Dan Walker talk about it, I said I was going to have my mom kind of even up the playing field because I thought he was going to do it, but I didn't know he's got a foot injury, so he was on the DL this year. But I brought my mom, 80 years old, and she called me. It was funny, after me and Dan were on that show, she called the next morning and asked me, why is it she has to watch my TV show to find out what's going on and what I'm doing and what she's doing. So like I tell everybody, I don't know how many people watch every week, but I can tell you Mom watches. So what a great time with her, to have her be my tire carrier / roller, and really, really a good time, and enjoy some highlights from the media competition. And set your time, set your speed dial or your sundial or whatever, because you ain't watching the times we're seeing on the Monster Energy Tour or NASCAR, but still a lot of fun watching these guys do this. And congratulations to Speed51.com, this year's media challenge. And had it not been for some penalties, Mainly Motorsports TV might have picked up the win, but Alicia just decided she didn't need to tighten all the lug nuts. Actually, I don't think she tightened any of them, but I told her all weekend, I don't think I saw anybody other than Travis Benjamin's boy that, man, they just love to hold that gun wide open. So really a good time by all, and appreciate my family, and, you know, wanting to be a part of it and just having fun with it. And one of these years we'll get it. Maybe when I'm the only media guy participating, but one of these years we'll get it. So we'll take a break. We come back in the next segment. We'll talk about the tracks and tours, and it's bragging rights, you know, bragging rights for the Pit Crew Challenge, for getting the tracks and tours together, management with crew members and drivers, and just great time. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a worn key. Where would you bring it? At what cost? And for how long? At E-Keys for Cars, our experienced technicians will diagnose your problem and get you going quickly with a fixed price quote. Whenever and wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars comes to you with a new key or ignition repair. Just call E-Keys for Cars, the fast, affordable mobile solution to your vehicle key and lock needs.
They raise the bar, E-Keys for Cars.
Here we go again. Snow, ice, and freezing rain. Be ready with a new set of winter tires from Town Fair Tire. We stock Michelin, Goodyear, Bridgestone, Firestone, General, Uniroyal, Toyo, Yokohama, Continental, Pirelli. Every name brand at the guaranteed lowest price. Get to Town Fair Tire today and drive with confidence this winter. Because when it comes to saving your money on name brand snow and all-season tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and each year this competition, heck, we had more in the tracks and tours competing just for trophies and a hoodie than we did in the regular competition this year, and but really great. And you know, they kind of try to put their best five together and just kind of go up against each other, and we don't glue the lug nuts on, so it's, you know, got to have some hand-eye coordination, teamwork, you know, which you need in tracks and tours and a race team. So really a lot of fun watching the different organizations pair up and put a team together, and finding a team leader and him getting the rest of them together, and just enjoying some fun on a Saturday afternoon in Augusta, Maine. So enjoy the highlights from the tracks and tours competition, and congratulations to all the teams that participated. And will you look at that? Richard Jordan's not only a race driver, not only a track promoter, he can be a part of a pit crew team, as he's picked up the win in the Waddell Communications Pit Crew Challenge. So great job by him, and thank you to Sean Waddell. You know, steps up every year and sponsor of the Tracks and Tour Pit Crew Challenge, and I really appreciate it. And you know, he's a big supporter of our show, and all the guys took home some hats from RE and $25 gift certificate from Waddell Communications. So congratulations to the winning Tracks and Tours Pit Stop Challenge winners, and sponsored by Waddell Communications. So we'll take a break. We come back. We'll talk about some of the interviews that took place, some of the vendors, exhibitors, and sponsors that were displaying at the 29th Annual Northeast Motorsports Expo a couple weekends ago up at Augusta, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Since 1972, my family has been selling and servicing vehicles here on Route 25 in Gorham.
Tax season is here, and we have our largest vehicle selection ever. We offer financing for all credit scores, and your job is your credit. Remember, I personally drive and inspect every vehicle we sell. We are located 6 miles west off Turnpike Exit 47 on Route 25 in Gorham. Call Frank Davenport at 207-839-9200 or visit us online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
All right, guys, we're over here on the far corner of the expo. We're here with Owl's Head. Warren, you guys come here every year. You always bring some ridiculous stuff, and you did it again this year.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have the Wild Child here. This is a very historic car, and we're really privileged as a museum to be able to bring it here. But we're doing a little better than just bringing the car. We've got the owner, too, who knows the deeper history of the car. We really hope all you folks get a chance to swing by. He'll be here till about 2 o'clock, I think. But I'll let Joe tell you his story. But we do hope that you come down and visit Owl's Head Transportation Museum whenever you get a chance.
Joe, you've brought a car that's actually a big part of American history here. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it's part of American and Canadian history. The car raced up in Canada. It came out of Canada. It was built at the Canadian factory. It's one of 3 factory experimental Falcons that were developed that year. And it's got great history. It was upgraded throughout the years. It's an altered wheelbase, one of the very first Ford funny cars. So it raced in the Michigan area, the New York area, Canada area, around London, Ontario. And it's right now, the configuration is as it was raced in '67. It has a 427 SOC, single overhead cam Hemi Ford engine. It was a race-only engine. And it's a wonderful piece of history. We loaned it to the museum. It's part of the racing exhibit there. And I think it's been there for about 3 years, and it'll continue to stay at the museum, and it's a great piece. During the hot rod shows they have there, we usually take the car out, fire it up, maybe a couple little burnouts, a few little bit of noise. You know, we shake it up a little bit. It's extremely loud, extremely powerful, and we're very proud to own the car and to have restored the car.
Now, I did hear this car come in this Friday morning. We were all here setting up the displays, and then everybody stopped when this thing came through the hallway. Tell us more about how this car really set drag racing and it moved everything forward to where we are today. This was the beginning, and from this point on, things changed.
Yeah, sure. In 1965, John Phillips, Ford of Canada, decided he wanted to compete in drag racing competitively. They built 3 B factory experimental Falcons that were equipped with the Mustang K-Code 289 271 horse motor. It also had fiberglass fenders, hood, doors, trunk, all Ford part numbers, all Ford racing componentry in the engine, including pistons, cams, Webers, Shelby heads, and this came out in '65 as a B factory experimental. Okay. Then what they wanted to do is they wanted to really up the game with the funny car stuff coming about. So in '66, it got a 427 wedge motor running nitromethane, and the wheelbase was altered. The front wheels were pushed forward 12 inches, the rear wheels 6 inches, and it ran in that configuration in 1967. All right. I'm sorry, '66. In 1967, they put the 427 Holman Moody Cammer engine in here, a C6 automatic, set the engine back into the driver's compartment further, altered the wheelbase again, and it ran as a full AFX factory experimental drag car in the '67 season. After '67, Rankin Ford sold the car. It was driven by a local racer. Then it was stuffed away, played around with, and we acquired the car in 2003. debuted at the Ford Nationals. Even though it was the Thunderbird 50th anniversary, they actually featured this car as the centerfold article in their magazine that day. So it's very historical. It's a great car. We love it dearly. We last ran the car about 7-8 years ago, keeping our foot out of it, shifting at a modest 6,000 RPM. The car turned in the low 10s, and we've retired the car since then, other than just playing around and making noise. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Joe. I really appreciate your vast knowledge of this car. Warren, you guys did it again, and definitely if anybody wants to go check out what Owl's Head has to offer, you can come talk to Warren. He'll be here all weekend. Also, check them out on their website. A great place. I finally made it there last year on Father's Day. You guys put on a great show. So thanks for coming.
Well, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here. A lot of good stuff here. A lot of stuff for me to take a look at. I hope I'm just not stuck in the corner all day.
But don't forget, guys, Joe's here till noon?
Till
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
He'll be hanging out, so come over and talk to him. Loves this car, loves to tell you about it. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, we're over here right as you wake your way through the main door at the expo, and I'm here with the Quark Auto Group. There's a little bit of everything here, and I got Chappie. He says, I drew the short straw, so we're going to talk with him today. I told him the most handsome guy should be on TV, so he agreed. He said, let's do it. So we're over here at the Quark Auto Group. They've got Ford, they've got Chevy, they got all kinds of stuff going on. What can you tell us about your booth today?
Well, we're representing our aftermarket division. We've got our Ford, Mopar, Performance GM. Right now we've got a couple of folks trying to win a $25 gift card in our beanbag contest. It's been a lot of fun all day. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys actually having a competition. Whoever can get the most out of 8 in will be crowned a champion and win a gift card. So I honestly, first place I stopped was this booth. They have the GM Performance book, and I always get that every year right here at this show. The guys all over here, if you have any questions about anything aftermarket, even GM Performance, come see the guys over here. Right as you walk through the door, Chappie would love to talk to you. All right, guys, we're down still here in the middle booth. I'm here with New England Race Fuels. I got my friend Charlie here. He loves coming up to Maine. We just had this conversation a few minutes ago about how things are different. Where are you from, Charlie?
We're from Burlington, Connecticut, actually, yeah.
And he says this is his vacation. He gets to come up here and hang out with us Mainers, and he's here pushing fuel.
Well, this is the old school up here. The farther south you get, and it's another war game down there, you know. People here are, still polite, say thank you, and, appreciate what you do. Not like you have to do it. I better be careful.
Yeah, he's going to cut that short. But he's over here. We got Sunoco Race Fuels all the way around. You got a beautiful display, and I love that you list the places that use you.
Yeah, they're all right there, every one of them. They're all good customers.
Right.
We appreciate it, and we really appreciate what they do in Maine. The people up here appreciate it, and we really enjoy coming here, and we're very proud to have our Sunoco on their cars and the places, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't understand that these cars they're a higher compression engine. You just can't run regular pump gas through these cars. They'll spark knock. They don't perform like they need to. You guys have the answer for that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We can take care of any problem you got. We do a lot of NRHA now, so it's 1,000 horsepower to your lawnmower.
All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, again, they're over here in the middle booth. He'll be hanging out in this chair all weekend, enjoying the Maine life. And if you have any questions, if you want to know what type of fuel would fit your application best, this is the guy you need to talk to.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a worn key. Where would you bring it? At what cost? And for how long? At E-Keys for Cars, our experienced technicians will diagnose your problem and get you going quickly with a fixed price quote. Whenever and wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars comes to you with a new key or ignition repair. Just call E-Keys for Cars, the fast, affordable mobile solution to your vehicle key and lock needs.
They raise the bar, E-Keys for Cars.
When I started Scotch Recreation, some competitors warned that if I discounted RVs and trailers, I wouldn't last. Well, here we are over 10 years later, still discounting and still growing. That's why we're Maine's largest RV dealer and largest trailer dealer. Forget about MSRP. We start way below that. Get your best price up front. Come see why my dealership sells more RVs and trailers than any other dealer in Maine.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and you heard a little bit of some of the people that were up there, and over the next few weeks we'll have some more and talk about not only their show experience but their 2017 race season, whether it's a driver, team, track, tour, and it's nice to hear what they have to say about the upcoming season. But a couple of other things that we do up there is the seminars, try to put people in place to maybe you want to ask some questions on that side of things, whether it's safety or spotting or the media and how to handle it. And a seminar that we had this year for the first time and look forward to doing it again next year and adding to it was the safety seminar put on by Andy Byron. And he works for Speedway Services, Loudon, travels all over the country, out of the country, working, the ambulances at these and the fire trucks at these tracks, whether it's a short track at Star Speedway or Lee USA Speedway to New Hampshire Motor Speedway and some of the biggest tracks throughout the country. Andy is very involved, and he approached me about putting on a seminar, and it really reached out to the track workers, and explain to the drivers on when they show up and some of the things when they're you think they're dismantling your car, but they're doing it for safety type of things. And really appreciate Andy, and it was well received. And if anybody would like a copy, to be able to see the whole entire seminar, don't hesitate to contact me at sperry@mainlymotorsportstv.com, and we'll get you a copy, see what we can do, and so you can check it out. Maybe you want to have it for your track, or just next year make sure you are a part of this. So enjoy some of the highlights of Andy, they call him Zippy, his safety seminar at the Northeast Motorsports Expo.
I'm a fireman for the city of Manchester, New Hampshire, full-time. I've been there 18 years in the city. My part-time fun job that I get to do is I work for Speedway Safety Services out of Claremont, New Hampshire. We're the vendor that provides track, EMS, fire, and some other stuff for Star Speedway, Lee USA, Hudson. I think we do a little bit of stuff up north at Speedway 51 in Groveton. We do Claremont, and we also are the primary for New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I've been with them for 8 years now. Currently, during the big NASCAR stuff, I get to play sometimes crew chief, sometimes backstep. I'm the newer of the crew chief, so I get bounced around a little bit. We're going to talk about some PPE, some personal protective equipment. You're going to hear me talk about SFI versus NFPA. SFI is a foundation that was started, and it's basically based on motorsport stuff. Tools and equipment, as far as equipment and stuff for the drivers. You're going to see me kind of talk a lot of stuff as far as the drivers and even the track guys, the wrecker guys, the cleanup guys. I'm going to talk about the PPE, and I'm going to really discuss a lot of what we shouldn't be doing on the racetrack as far as our personal protective equipment. We'll talk about some personal tools, the stuff that I like to carry when I'm on the track. We'll talk about the hydraulic rescue tools, our AMKIS, our Hearst tools, our Jaws of Life. We're going to talk about that stuff. And I have some ideas for you guys as far as track stuff that you can bring back home. And then our electric tools, Sawzalls, DeWalt, all that stuff. We'll talk about the race vehicles a little bit, some of the stuff, and I'll be leaning on some of you guys, so we'll do a little bit of interactive in that one. The vehicles as far as what we use as our trucks on track, what they should have on them. Definitely we're going to talk about our scene placement of our vehicles, wreckers, cleanup, our ambulances, where they need to be as far as scene placement goes. And then our response team, the team effort, where we come in so we can get quick clearance and we can get and help other people out. Because remember, people don't come to the racetracks to see us. Race control is a big one. Why should we have a race controller? We'll talk about that. And then the big picture. When you see the car rapidly decelerate, you need to start thinking, all right, what's going on with the person inside the car? What's going to happen to them? Where's the car going to land? Head injuries, are they going to be okay? Again, we're small little groups of people that work on the track. You may not be licensed as an EMS provider, but you may need to be assist and help with these EMS providers and these track workers. So on an oval configuration, you have your tower, whether you call it race control, you call it your tower, or sometimes we just do it by the person's name who's in charge. There needs to be a crew chief as far as the track goes in your trucks. If you're responding with 2 people, somebody in that truck that needs to be the crew chief of that vehicle. When you do your training, does anybody do annual training at the track? Nobody? So you're setting yourself up right there, right now, behind the 8 ball, because you're not finding your strong individuals who can help you and lead and get a good race product. Because remember, when these racers have their crash, and it's a significant crash, this is the worst of their day, and they need you to be the superstars. They don't need to have people sitting there complaining. Without the teams coming through the back gate and bringing their family and their fans, we're not racing. Our fun time, our hobby, whatever you want to call it, our part-time job doesn't exist. And if we don't start taking that aspect of, the whole business model into play and talking with our teams and our competitors, then we're just going to stay in the 1980s realm of jeans and a t-shirt and a greasy rag out your back pocket and not be a professional organization. And it doesn't matter what track you run at. You got to start looking at that model to survive, because tracks are going away. There's definitely people are going to have hurt feelings when you try to put this new program in where you tell people, listen, this isn't the old way we do it. You can still do your job. You just need to be better prepared, better trained, because, if it's predictable, it's preventable.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs. Town Fair Tire, with 6 locations in Maine: Auburn, Augusta, Bangor, Biddeford, South Portland, and Topsom. Awards and recognition, your #1 source in New England for all of your award needs. Over the last, I'll call it 10 years, maybe less than that, social media has played such a huge role in short track racing. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, but more importantly, Facebook. And a couple of the issues that have really came to light last year was Facebook Live. And we put a seminar this year on with myself, Brandon Paul from Speed 51, Bob Weber Jr., promoter of Star Speedway, and Scott Tapley, who is co-host of In the Pits radio show, but also Riverhead, Waterford, Thompson, very involved with these tracks as far as a race director. And we gave you our thoughts and opinions, but we also opened up the floor for you to give us your thoughts and opinions. And it was neat to hear some of the stuff back from the studio audience of how they've handled Facebook wrong and some of the things they've done wrong to promote their race team and in effect, whether it was their kid, their husband, their daughter, or whatever. So same thing, if anybody is interested in seeing the entire video, just reach out to us and we'll see what we can do to get you a copy and be able to follow along with it. And maybe you got some questions for one of those guys, send me an email and I'll get it into the right hands. So appreciate those guys, appreciate the people that attended the seminar, just like the safety seminar, and enjoy some of the highlights of what we talked about. But when you do it and it's out there, and this is just my opinion, it's out there. It ain't nothing you're changing. You want to talk about your track, you want to talk about your competitors, and and that's just where I come from. I call, and I joke, you'll see it on my show if you watch this week, I call them Facebook races. If they spend as much time working on their cars as they do on Facebook, they'd win some races, but they don't. And it's always somebody else's fault, and next week. So, to me, and that's just me, I gain a lot of respect for that young man, because it's easy to be 18, 19 years old and just say what you want to say. Now, was he probably thinking something different? I'm sure he was. Somebody made him have a bad day, but he knew how to handle it. And in today's world, but once it's out there, it's out there. And that's just my take. You know, I mean, the TV thing, it is what it is. I mean, I love it. I love talking to a lot of you guys, tracks, promoters. But, and you guys know, it's just, it's a different world nowadays.
Yeah, basically, like Steve said, don't say anything that you don't want to be printed or to be on TV. I mean, with our TV thing all the time, I mean, when we're doing live broadcasts, people get on there and they just say stuff that they regret. And then they have to go back on social media, use it the right way, and have to apologize for it. So I think that's the biggest thing, especially when it's on the record. If you're talking to somebody in the media as well, not just on social media, but if you're talking to me after a race or something and a guy dumped you, don't tell me anything that you don't want printed, because once it's on the record, I mean, it's out there. It's in the media. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and Bobby, like I said, he's used social media to his advantage. And, you know, sponsors, the cars, Star Speedway, and anybody that follows along has seen the improvements.
Maybe as a race team, right, and you can use these videos, real quick videos, to thank your sponsors, everything. My son does that for my own race team. And it goes a long way when somebody that gives you some money sees their name just real quick, because it makes them know that you're thinking of them and that you are keeping them in your mind. But on the other hand, like Steve says,
on people that complain about a racetrack, because it's the same people at every racetrack, no matter what racetrack they go to, and they complain about the same thing. It's not like it was 20 years ago. Well, the reality is nothing was like it was 20 years ago. Everyone's revisionist history of how they grew up or whatever things were back in the day is always better than it actually was. I mean, I saw a dude posted after the Dover race this year, the Cup race. Everyone hates the Cup series, right? It's the general consensus, right? So the Dover Cup race, the guy said, no wonder the Cup series sucks now. There's only 12 cars on the lead lap. So I said to the dude, I went back and I went to Racing Reference and I pulled the Dover race from every year from 1990 to 1999, just because I got tired of 99. 5 cars on the lead lap in all those races. So you're telling me that 12 cars sucks, and it's not like the old days, but in the old days, there was actually 5 cars on the lead lap. People want to believe the history was, or the old days were better. Everyone, I'm sure if you watch a show that you thought was the greatest show in the world, if you saw it again today, you would think, this show kind of sucks, actually.
They sometimes forget that they're representing themselves and their race team, but they forget that they're representing those businesses that gave them a couple $100. You know, they won't remember the driver's name, but oh, that's the one who drives the Napa car. Well, I'm not going to Napa because, you know, they're threatening somebody's life because they got spun in a heat race.
Thank you guys. No, thank you. And I will tell any track promoters or anything, and I don't knock any track, and I don't knock any personnel that do it. But if anybody has got a few minutes and they want to talk to what I consider the best in the business when it comes to race directing and all that, that is Scott Tapley. Because I'll tell you, if I owned a racetrack tomorrow, he would be my first phone call, and I'd pay him whatever it took, because he's accountable. And that's a word that we don't hear in short track racing, is accountability. Because everybody wants to point fingers and blame somebody else. And he's accountable, and he'd be the first guy. So anybody, you know, that ever had a question, and like you said, George, and he's dead right in everything he said to you about that. In the end, it's gonna pull your hair out more.
Not sure what brand tire to buy? Town Fair Tire has them all. Michelin, Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Toyo, Yokohama, Hankook, and more. No matter what size or brand, Town Fair Tire beats all the competition, even online prices. We'll also do a free front wheel alignment with any tire purchase. Name brand tires, the lowest prices, free alignment. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Well, as we wrap up this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, and we'll have a lot more coming at you the next few weeks, getting ready to start our Bentley Chronicles. Bentley Warren, we did a nice piece down there with him, and we're getting it all together with the B-roll, and want to start I call it a little documentary, but it's, it'll probably be a 5 or 6 week segment each week talking about Bentley and his career and some of the things he's done, and huge supporter of Mainly Motorsports, racing in general, the bike ride that takes place at Lee, the ISMA Super Modified Tour that he's still a major supporter of, and look forward to that. But just we're getting closer and closer to spring, and everybody, I know there's some snowmobile stuff going on, and get out there and support that, and Racing Preview is just around the corner. So if you're a car and you want to display your car at the Racing Preview show, contact your track or your tour or whoever you race with, and they handle the spaces. I give them space, they fill them. So contact them and let them know that you'd like to be a part of Racing Preview. If you're a vendor, contact me, or an exhibitor and you've never been, contact me. And, we'll get you in, we'll find your space, and we want to fill the expo. Really excited about that. And don't forget your chance to buy trailer tickets, as that'll be given away at the expo. The Easy Hauler, put together by Mission Trailers and Scott's Recreation, ASM Graphics, Mainly Motorsports. So there's your chance to, for pretty cheap money, to win yourself an enclosed trailer to really get your 2017 season a kick in the butt, and really do that. And the big news we have about Racing Preview is LST Landscaping, a big, a very professional, very out there, well-known landscaping company in the greater Portland area has stepped up and become the title sponsor for Racing Preview 2017. So I want to thank Ryan and Rod and their entire staff over there as they start finding themselves more involved with Mainly Motorsports as they're short track racing fans, and they just love racing as a whole. And now they want to, market and promote their company through Mainly Motorsports. So I appreciate that, and looking forward to relationship growing with that company and Mainly Motorsports. So really excited about Racing Preview 2017, LST coming involved, and then all the tracks and tours that have already sent their stuff in vendors. So going to be a good show down there at the Portland Expo. So hope you enjoyed this week's episode 501. We're on our way to 1,000, right? It's going to take a while, but we'll get there. And really appreciate all the support, like I said, of all the sponsors and the people behind the scenes that make it possible. So until next time, we'll see you right here on Mainly Motorsports.